wish I had an answer for you. It's it's a thing that I've tried to figure out myself. I don't understand what goes on, but then I don't know, these people's lives, I mean, end of the day, they're people, whether they're famous or rock stars, whatever you want to call them or whatever. I mean, people are people, and people have problems, and sometimes people can't get around those problems, It's not the choice I would ever personally take, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get your head around it because you look at someone and you think, well, they're probably doing okay financially, their bands are doing well, they have families. Why would they do something like that, And I've struggled with those thoughts myself, like, why would you do that? I mean, as a band that's like really just grinding it out, who wouldn't want to reach a certain level of success or have certain financial comforts, but it just tells you that everything's not always about money and about certain things, you know what I mean? There's some deep-rooted things with certain people that, and then there could be drugs involved, there's a lot of factors. So, yeah, I really couldn't give you an answer. I mean, like in our world, we don't really do that a lot. Sometimes we do, like at festivals, our friends from Monster will put something together, and like we'll do it from time to time, but we don't typically do it. But yeah, we never typically charge for that. I mean, you figure someone's already paying to get into a show, and it's likely they'll buy a shirt, or something. So why charge someone to meet you? Yeah, it's a little odd. I know that some bands do like as part of a package kind of thing. That's not my world, so I really, I don't want to be judgmental, but, with us, you can just come up to us and shake our hand and say hello. Like, we're people, we're not like, you don't have to pay me to say hi. Might have to pay me to play a show, yeah, because that's how I pay my bills. That's how I feed my kids. That's a different thing. But to meet, yeah, that's a little odd. It's a little odd for me. I guess just the idea that people had that like somehow we were selling out because we were doing it, like that's pretty much at the top of the list of ridiculous things that you could say. Yeah, I don't even know what that means really, selling. Like we've been doing what we do for like a way long time, and we actually did that tour in a van. Like we're still doing it, and even if we'd done it in a bus, so what? Like, we're representing ourselves. We're representing our scene, our genre. We're being true to who we are. There's no way, shape, or form where we were selling out because we did a higher profile tour. I mean, we play festivals, that's not selling out, so it's like, it's very weird approach. It's not like we were paid a lot of money, not more than what we would normally get. So yeah, it's a weird sort of viewpoint. It's almost like it's these people that are sort of, I don't know, it's almost like they don't want to see you do better for some reason. And I don't think that that's a true supporter of a band or of a movement, someone that doesn't want to see you represent that on a higher level, yeah. Well, my least favorite thing is being away from my family. That's hands down the worst, and that weighs heavy. That's very hard on my family and me. So it's not just affecting me personally, but it's also affecting my wife and my kids because I got to go away to do my job, which happens to be something that I'm very passionate about. So it's, a compromise, and you take the good with the bad. When I'm home, I try to immerse myself in my family, but that's the worst part about it by far. I mean, the drives are horrible sometimes. Like these next 3 days, 11-hour drives every day, leaving right after we play, wake up first thing in the morning, so that's not easy, but nothing is worse than leaving your family behind. the best thing about it is obviously performing, you know, playing shows. You let out all that frustration, you exert yourself, you get your message out, and, you know, you connect with the people. And that's obviously at the top of the list of the best part about touring and the traveling, you know, getting to see other places and cultures and stuff. You know, that would be. Maybe the Empire record, maybe. We did a record Empire a couple years, some years back now, and we were having good momentum at that time. So, but there was also bad things happening on the personal level, not to me personally, but to guys in the band. So we were all sort of dealing with that, and so, but we still thought that maybe, you know, the record would do good, and I don't know that it did as good as we thought it might do, but there's people that like it, you know. But yeah, that might have been one that we were like, oh, you know, Look My Way was a record we did years before that one that actually a lot of people like now, that wasn't that well received, but we didn't anticipate anything with that one. Like, we were just kind of like, you know, going with the flow at that moment. But yeah, I would say Empire would be one that maybe we thought was going to do better and it didn't. But the next one's going to be better than all of them. I mean, we've played many, like, weird random clubs in all kinds of weird, crazy cities, all in America here. We've played a couple of boats. That's kind of interesting. You know, in Paris we played this boat once where, well, there's the one in Hungary, A38, that we always have a good time there. It's a boat. It's kind of strange. But the one in Paris was smaller, and you could actually feel it moving with the crowd, and that was pretty strange. We've never played a wedding or a bat mitzvah or a party, someone's party. I don't think we've done that yet. You know, we played a castle, we played a moat, played in the woods, played everywhere. Yeah, the biggest problem I would think is, like, for some years now, there's been like almost like a division in hardcore of, like, I don't know. I mean, we you know, we're pretty lucky because we get, like, younger crowds and older crowds, because obviously we've been around for a while, and we somehow manage to bring them together. But sometimes there's a division between younger generation and older generation, and there's a lack of knowledge about the foundation of all this, and that's probably the biggest problem, you know. And then sometimes the vibe of, like, where hardcore kids are, like, almost too judgmental for their own good, you know. Like, we'll play shows where it's like people that never even heard of us go bananas, you know. There's a mixture of people that support us, and then there's a mixture of people that never seen us, and there's you know, and like a festival scene, for example. But everyone will have fun, and it'll be a good show, and it'll be a great time. And sometimes we'll play a hardcore show where it's supposed to be all hardcore people. So you would think that would be even nuttier, even crazier, because these are all people that know your band. They know, they're there for you, right? And then sometimes there's, like, people that are sort of being cool, and I don't know if they're, like, trying to impress someone across the way, but that's not the way it's supposed to be, you know. Like, not even from the beginning, the early days, and even in the 90s when we were coming up, like, that's not really cool. Like, if you're trying to be cool, that's not really cool. Like, you're supposed to go to the show and let it out, and just, you know, none of this arms folded. Like, why bother going, you know? It's like the cool factor, we call it. And it's weird because sometimes we'll play to people that don't even know about hardcore, and they sometimes have more fun than the people that are hardcore kids. Not everywhere, though. So I shouldn't say that everywhere, because there are plenty of cities where the hardcore kids show up and they go off and they represent, and it's great. It's a great symbiotic thing, you know. But yeah, that would be the biggest problem, I would think. Is there some sort of cool thing has entered the building, and it's a little bit like, you're not cooler than me, dude, so just get over it.